Lesson 95 assignment was to add a down function to the binary counter from Lesson 94. The counter will count up when the red button is pressed and count down when the green button is pressed. The bulk of this code is identical to the Lesson 94 code. If you want a description of that part of the code, follow the link in the description below this video. This homework adds comparison logic that captures the down push button press. Also, I didn't want to lose the reset function, so the counter will reset when both buttons are pressed. I will admit that reliably distinguishing both buttons from the sequential pushing of individual buttons was a challenge. That part of the code still needs more thought. Here's the code. We start with the same imports and at RP2 decorator as Lesson 94. The function holding the assembler code is now called up-down reset counter. We'll come back to that shortly. The red push button and green push button definitions, the SM0 instantiation, and the try except clauses are all identical to Lesson 94. The up-down reset counter function is identical to the assembler code for Lesson 94 up to line 30. At line 31, instead of resetting the counter by jumping to the start label, if a button other than the red push button is pushed, this code jumps to the Are We Decrementing label on line 39. In the Are We Decrementing section of the program, we test if the green button was pushed by comparing the Y scratch register to binary 2. If both buttons were pushed, the Y register will contain binary 3, not 2. Line 41 will send execution to the start label, resetting the counter. On the other hand, if the green button was pushed, execution will fall through to line 42, where the program will wait for the input pin, which is offset by 1 from the in-base pin, in other words, the green button, to be released. Once the green button is released, the program copies the OSR to the X register, decrements X if it's greater than 0 in line 44, then copies the X register back to the OSR. Execution then jumps back to the show label where the updated count is displayed and the process repeats itself. Here's how it works. Well, that's it for this assignment. Any and all comments are welcome. Don't forget to like or dislike the video before you go. And feel free to subscribe. Don't forget the notification bell. We'll talk to you next time.